what's up? Well, hey, we're fixing to work on the LTD, guys. I know there's people that ask about it. We get questions about it from time to time. So we have been waiting on David. In all honesty, we probably maybe would have had it fixed before now, but we've been waiting on David. So let's take a quick look at that real quick, and we'll be right back, whatever. Okay, guys.
We rolling?
Hey, yes, we're rolling. Now this, I get a lot of questions about the LTD. When's the LTD coming back? What's going on with the LTD? Did you sell the LTD?
No.
Did you get rid of the LTD? I get a lot of questions about that. So we have not necessarily been waiting on David because, but David was going to do some GT40s. We're kind of doing some swappy stuff.
Yeah, your LTD.
Yeah, my LTD.
Okay.
David, they don't even know about your LTD. It's been in one video that I did where I walked around it. Once they see it, we'll get a lot of questions about it, or you'll have it on your channel or whatever. So this is about the gray LTD, which was David's LTD until it became my LTD. All right, we've been waiting on the heads, the whole deal. So I'm going to put the B cam in it. I'm going to take the X out. David told me to put the B with the single plane. He said a dual plane would be better, but I traded my dual plane to him for Herbie's motor. But that's fine. I'll put the X in something else.
Yeah.
So I'll put the B in, but these are the heads that are going on it. Yeah. These are some GT40s that Richard Sickles, right?
Frank, I think. Yeah.
It was his brother?
His brother had them.
Brother Frank.
Brother Frank.
So Richard is a subscriber to the channel, but anyway, it was some somewhat ported GT40s. Right. Someone had started. Someone accidentally dropped a carbide bit in them.
Yeah, he did some work on them. I just did some more, and I just because I know how Rodney likes to not do real valve jobs. So
what are you talking about? It's got compound and there's a drill.
Compound and a valve. It's a valve job.
It's a valve job.
So all I did was knock that down, that bump, the spark plug, and then around here.
Yes.
I didn't do it a lot because
you didn't want to get in the valve.
Didn't want to get in the seat. So
you didn't want to get in the seat.
And then in the bowl, on the intake port, I went around that a little bit.
Yes.
Of course, they're not all the same because I just don't have that hand-eye coordination.
Right, we've seen it.
Yeah. But it works.
It works.
On the flow bench. I didn't make this any bigger, really. Just roughed it, kept the carbide surface. And then the port, he had opened up the roof some.
Right.
That's what I did on the first two sets I did.
Yeah.
But I've learned since then you don't need to. You can just work on the floor a little bit. So they're a little wider. And again,
they're not crazy. They're just very.
I don't want to say stage whatever because.
What stage? I was going to ask you what stage they were.
I knew you would.
Because I have that set for the silver car. What stage are those?
Those are the first or the second set I did. The first set I have on my red car.
Right.
But
what stage are those?
The same.
So what stage is that? What stage is this and what stage are those? Are these stage 1s and those are stage 2s?
You could say that if you want.
Or are they stage 3s and there's a stage 2 somewhere?
Well, that could probably be stage 3 because I took the valve guide all the way down to the roof.
That's what I'm talking about. There we go. They're stage 3s.
But I did put new valve guides in.
So, okay. So this is like a stage 1, just to monkey around.
1.5 maybe?
Yeah, 1.5, stage 1.5. So.
But there should be a name for it instead of a stage. There should be, like the street sweeper and the Raptor claw and all that other bullshit.
Yes. We'll trust me, we can come up with something.
We'll have to work on that.
We'll come up with something. So, all right.
We'll get with the marketing department, see what they say.
We're all on it. So, all right, that's going to some assembly required.
I think they've been milled because normally if they're not milled, the numbers right here
are stick out.
Yeah, they've been taken down.
Oh boy, watch out, compression.
More compression.
Yeah, once that combined with a B cam and a Victor Jr. intake, that's what we call magic. Science will no longer be involved. So, all right. Like I say, some assembly required. We got the valves and stuff, and we'll just get everything swappered over. And it'll be ready to roll. We'll get it all put back together sooner rather than later. Like I say, I get questions about the freaking LTD, dude.
Well, yeah.
I know. I got that, and I got to do the rear end for it. And they're red.
Yeah, I didn't pick that.
That was already on there.
Yeah.
So.
I cleaned them with the my parts cleaner. It's just
right.
What is it? Mineral spirits.
Mineral spirits, yeah. So.
But I would hit them, like take it to a car wash and do them again because there's,
Right.
or not.
Right. I got a can of brake clean, bro.
Yeah.
So all right, LTD. There it is. Yet another piece of the puzzle. Not that. That's for Pirate. That's his stealth. So they've had for a little while. It looks much better now than when it came out of the forest. So
Oh, yeah, that's right. That came
that's
from
the one
McBuddy.
McBuddy found that. Yeah, sure did. So all right, well, we got to go. We got things to do. There it is, my main man, David. He got those GT40s and thought it'd be cool to put them on this car or whatever. So he wanted a virgin set to mess around with. So we are going to take our damaged ones off, and we got to swap the valve springs. I had to order some valve stem seals, of course, and those came in, and we're going to take our valve springs off and swap them over to the heads. We're still tinkering with what we're going to do with the combination, but we have to do the heads before we decide on anything else. We may change the cam. We may change the intake. We're in discussions right now with David about that. And as a matter of fact, we're talking about today. So we may do an intake and cam change, and it runs okay with the Victor Jr. I mean, it's just fourth gear with 373s. It's a little flat, but it's got so much first, second, and third it hides it. So anyway, let me get out of the car and actually get to work. We're gonna, like I say, we're gonna pull. That's our thing. We're gonna try to do today is maybe get the heads off of it, and then we can get them home and get them swapped, get the springs swapped. And then we'll be ready to start putting it back together, hopefully. We still got to do the 8.8 for it, but, let's get it running, and let's get the rear end in it, and let's get to the track, and let's not money shift it again. So, all right, let me get out of the car. Let's get to work. I'll see you guys in a minute under the hood. Well, there it is, fellas. The magnificent little 302 that could. So, we've already got it partially torn apart. I mean, well, we never really put it all back together. So, good news for us is that, well, it's partially taken apart. So now we've got a little bit of room to, got an Edelbrock air filter, son. Nothing but the best. We gotta get it all out. Bang. Fun, fun, fun. So, all right, well, let me get to work. I'm gonna pull the pop distributor out, and then we'll pull the carb off, valve covers, intake, and break exhaust loose and heads. Boom, or go ahead and break the head, whatever. We're gonna get it. We gotta get some of it loose. Let's do it. Let's do this. Well, I know that was probably, excitement level. Whew. Can hardly imagine what you guys are experiencing right now. Actually, I can't imagine it. This probably sucks. Boring. All right, we got our intake off. Whoop-de-doo. Now we'll get all this junk off. All this because of a misshift and a camshaft dowel pin. Man, kind of sucks. It's a lot of work. A lot of work for that. I heard it. All right, well. I think you can pretty much see what the process is here. Nothing exciting. Everyone's saying, well, if you had that, man, if you had that electric, if you had that impact, that electric impact, you know how fast you could do it? Yeah. Yeah, I know. This is the part where you fast forward through the video. Wonder if we check some push rods too. Have to roll some push rods. Check them. So we went and bent some more valves. Then it might have. Man, I've got the push rods there. We'll roll them on a flat surface and check them out. We don't really know what we did, honestly. But we know what we're doing. We're taking these dang heads off. That's a lot of fun. One head is off, and you can see that yeah, number 4, and that's the exhaust valve. So that also, it'll be hard to see here, but in there is our when we did our compression test, and number 4 had a 0. So it looks like when our dowel pin for a cam got, I guess, fairly certain that mark wasn't there before. So, you know, oh well. So, moving on. Oh, Lord. Check it out, yo. Oh, whoa. This is so fast. Why didn't I think of this sooner? Oh my God, man. Oh my God, look at how fast that came out. Seriously. It's not even on time lapse, guys. It's just doing it that fast. Oh my God. Holy mackerel. I'm almost done. Oh, if I had dropped that bolt. God, this is, oh my God. Woo. Holy crap. I can't handle it. I'm going back to the ratchet. This is too fast. I'm just getting it done too quick. I'm on an hourly pay scale. It's too fast. All right, guys. There's a slight mark on the exhaust on number 1 as well. Number 1 had 4 was 0. Number 1 was really low at like 60. And sorry. Number 8, bang. And then, wow, number 5 and also number 6. 5 was pretty low too at 30. Not sure what 6 was, but yeah, I think we got like all the exhaust valves. Golly. Well, you know, hey, what the heck? We did a great job. So at least that's, you know, we put the fresh heads on. That should take care of our issue. We still are undecided on our camshaft and intake situation. I'm tempted just to leave the Victor Jr. on it. Yes, I'm aware it is way too much intake for this motor and these heads, and that's fine. But the car drove good with it. It actually felt pretty good. It ran a decent time at the track, all things considered. And, you know, well, I messed with it kind of. So it's not 100%. We're not 100% sure on that. We're just kind of, you know, hey, blah, blah, blah. we'll look the situation over. So anyway, there we go. Heads are off. So we got some decision making to do, but until that time, we've got to just get the heads disassembled and reassembled with the new heads, blah, blah, blah. So we've got time to work through what we want to do. So, all right, there we go. We'll see you guys. The next clip will be us working, I assume, taking the heads apart. So it is dinner time. Gots to go eat. We're out in the shop now, obviously. We've opened up our package from Alex. These are our Vitamin seals. These are $25 shipped. He's in California, I'm in Florida, so shipping's probably not gonna be much worse anywhere else. And shipping wasn't bad either. But that's a pretty good price. These are good seals. They're better than what you're gonna get at AutoZone, I guess. I actually like these. These are pretty good. We've got our heads, and this is gonna be hard to see, but I'll just show you really quick, and maybe I'll show you a little bit on the stock one when I've got some valves out of it. But I'll show you real quick like what we got. David already kind of ran through it, but I'll show you a little bit more of a close-up. Okay, this is our exhaust port. You can see the guide has really been cut back. Hold on, let me put this light right here. The guide right here usually protrudes into the port way more. It's been cut back quite a bit. This port's been opened up. All of them are done up like that. And then he did a little bit of bowl work and didn't really do anything on the intake side. He just kind of left it alone. Like he said, these are a stage 1. It'd be hard to tell. I have to get the valve out, and you can really kind of see the difference in the exhaust port. But they've been opened up. So, like I say, it's not going to make like a ton of power or like big horsepower number or anything like that. But it should provide us with maybe a little extra oomph. So yeah, that should supply us with a little extra power, but we won't know how much because we never ran the car to its full potential before. We're doing this swap, so we're basically kind of, it's just a shot in the dark as to how much of a gain it actually makes. We're also, of course, swapping camshafts, potentially intake. So the whole combo is really is changing fundamentally from where it was before. And again, we weren't leaning on it the first time we had it out, so it's just kind of like starting fresh. So it's not really a comparison of these versus those because we're changing a bunch of stuff. I don't particularly like to do that, but we got a lot of projects. I really am kind of motivated to get this car going now, and I don't want to do anything to inhibit that progress. So let me get to work. I'm not gonna bore you with a bunch of that stuff. I'm gonna, take the springs out. We're gonna have to swap everything over and blah, 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 blah. So I may show a little bit of that, but I'll try and run through it quickly so this video doesn't get way long, out of control, boring. So, more boring. So anyway, all right, let me get my trusty spring compressor out and a few other little things, and let's get to work. Okay, this might be a little bit difficult to see. Whoops, I guess it'd help if I turn the right valve. Yeah, that looks a little bent. You see how the end of it's, yeah, I think we bent that one. It's hard to tell. That one, the one down at the bottom is number 4. So it's the one that tagged it pretty good, yeah. So they weren't in all the intakes. All the intakes will come out good. Or look, I don't think anything happened there. But that exhaust, So, yeah, well, like I say, we got our springs off, and we can start doing something. We got to check the spring height on this one. So, I don't know if we'll do that tonight. I think we're going to call it, maybe get to it. We got tied up doing something this afternoon, so we didn't have a lot of time to fiddle around. So, anyway, we'll get back at it. You won't know the difference. I'll just have a different shirt on. We've got our valve spring height checked. Had to use a small shim on both. And we've got our couple new valve stem seals set in. Now we're going to put a couple valve springs on with our trusty eBay valve spring compressor. Okay, we've got one head fully assembled. always like to give them a little tap just to make sure everything's locked in. Like I say, we had to shim them up. We've got our shim kit. Now this isn't, you know, an exact science. Guys will get into arguments all day long about shimming springs and checking spring heights and on and on and on and on. But for the average, just the average guy, this is better than nothing. Okay? You're checking them. I am not using a micrometer. I am using I'm using a piece of rod that has been cut and ground and checked with a caliper. That's what I'm using to check it with. So it's better than nothing. I mean, I don't have obviously all the tools like some other people or machine shop or whatever, but anyone at home with basically one of these is probably 50 bucks, maybe a little bit more. This is a cheap one. I've had it for years and used it a bunch. You know, a $10 caliper on sale at Harbor Freight. You can get closer and just throwing the springs in. So, and what that'll do is the closer they are, you know, the less you are to having valve float and stuff like that. If you've got a really good cam or something like that, I would suggest having a machine shop properly set the heads up. But for most, in my opinion, most small hydraulic roller, off the shelf type stuff, small stuff with pedals to mount rockers, you're not getting something too big, this will be adequate. You guys have seen how our cars run, so for the most part, look, our Chevy crashed. I think Callie crashed this thing off the shelf here. I found it on the floor. So anyway, we got one head together, and like I say, we'll get the other one knocked down, and same thing, you know, rinse and repeat. We've got our second head broken down. That don't look too good. Got another bender. So, don't want to come out too good. Yeah. Yep. It's another tweaker. Ooh, that looks like an issue. Yeah. Yep, we bent some exhaust valves. So that explains our, and then that explains our problem. So oh well, at least we're good to go now on other stuff. All right, here's what I'm talking about with the guide. I'm trying to get this where the glare's not, dang it. Trying to make this where the glare's not so crazy. Okay, you see that right there, that molehill sticking out? That's the guide. And you've seen how far they're cut back on the other heads. Like I say, this is probably not going to look too great on camera, but there, you can see it now. You can see how far back it's cut back in the other heads versus what it is right here. So help out with the flow a little bit, and you know, maybe make a little bit more powers. It's that poted power. All right, this is, sorry for the shaky filming and stuff. I'm sitting here trying to, with my glad, you know, so anyway, it's substandard. What do you expect? All right, let me turn my radio back on. All right, guys, we're back out here and we are putting it together. I know everyone, please freak out over the Mopar red color. That's not Chevy orange, it's actually like a red. Please have a heart attack over that, because I'm not painting them. I don't want to paint them and wait and all that kind of stuff. I don't care. How about that? No one's supposed to be looking under the hood anyway. So, all right. So, try to get the heads bolted on, or at least one of them today, whatever. Let's just call this progress. I don't want to hear no complaining about it. So we'll just do what we do. You'll like it. We've got one head on, and got the header bolted back up. Just got to put the plugs in it, bolt valve cover down. The other thing, we are not going to use our Victor Jr. We are going to use this Stealth. This was technically Pirate Stealth. David had done a little bit of port work to it, not anything crazy, just really kind of cleaned it up and matched it up just a little bit. So it's nothing fancy. Look at that. This thing sat in the woods. That fuel is going to clean that right out, but that's nothing. It's not even, it's just stuff. So I had a Stealth that I traded to David. Me and David are going to trade back. And since I'm putting my car together a little bit sooner than Pirate is, I'm going to use his Stealth and he's going to use my Stealth. So it all, works out, I guess. All right, we got both heads on, torque down, rockers. We rolled the motor around a couple times, all the push rods. We didn't have to shim any of the rockers, I guess is what I'm getting at. We got one header bolted up. Now we'll bolt this header up, and we'll throw the intake on it, or maybe we'll go whatever. And, piece by piece. So, we've got the headers bolted on. We've got the intake bolted down, and it's torqued. I actually torqued the spec in the proper pattern. So now we've got to put the plugs in it, valve covers, obviously, but we're on the downside. We'll do a little bit more. Like I say, I don't think I'm gonna fire it today. I'm probably gonna wait till the carb spacer comes in and just do it then. It's not like we're going anywhere. So not right this minute. So it's not a big deal. It's been sitting for 100 years, so another day or two is not going to hurt you. And like I say, I've got some other stuff to work on, but we may, like I say, go ahead and put the valve covers on, put the plugs in it, put the crank pulley on, stuff like that. So I think we're going to be okay. We can put the front dress on it. I mean, we got a lot of stuff we can do. It's one of those things where, in a way, until I don't want to put it all back together until we get it running. And I'm like, okay, in case there's a problem, this should have been fixed the first time. But that was partially my fault, just a fluke thing that happened. So anyway, all right, well, onward, forward, upwards, onward. All right, guys, we got no water, radiator, nothing, but got it fired up. So it runs lively. Like I say, it's still cold. It basically fired on the first hit. I just had to run the timing up just a hair to get it to idle a little bit. We got a little bit of carb leakage. May have to that may seal itself up after they get wet. They're not bad. But it runs. It basically fired on the first hit. I didn't even have to do anything really. We got a $20 carb space or $15 carb space now. All right. There it is. So, like I say, we got to put the radiator and, all the basic front dress stuff on it, but hey, it runs. This is the first time it's ran in, crap. Well, it's been a year. It's been over a year, because I was going to take it to the dyno day at Johnny's, the spring dyno day last year, and well, obviously that didn't work out. But all right, well, it's running better. It's it's running some. So anyway, all right. Go rob some liquor stores now, man. They better lock the bank vaults up, get security tightened up. Bank job is ready. Getting back in the game. So, all right. Well, let me double check, make sure I tighten the balancer up, and we got to put the crank pulley on, and obviously the radiator, and the alternator, and stuff like that. But hey, it runs, guys. It runs. It ran a little bit. You heard it. It sounds like it sounds. So cool deal. All right, I'm happy. Got our super awesome race crank pulley on. We even had a belt in our little belt pile that actually fits, so sweet. We just got off work, so we put some air in the tires, put some more gas in it. So I will also say that the front tires of this thing are garbage, so probably get some vibration.
Caveman science. I'm going carb on everything, David. I just can't do the EFI thing anymore. You guys know I'm kidding with that. Man, I'm gonna really hate putting 373s back in this thing, but I think that's probably what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen because that's what we got. Sure hate doing it. Let's get it, see if it'll do us a little second gear. Might wheel hop or something, so. Oh crap, here comes somebody. Dang. short block. It's got like 250,000 miles on it. It's got some age on it. Damn, we're laying. I only got to lay tracks in the one area. I don't want to get my. Oh wow, that's pretty long.
Well, with some successes come some failures. Hey, we got the LTD running. We got the heads back on, the X-cams in it. Feels pretty good. I mean, it just spins tires. You can't really tell what it feels like, but you know, whatever. Runs, you know, seems like it runs pretty good and everything like that. And then we just proceeded to break the 3/4. Pretty sure we got 3/4 shift fork. There's nothing there in 3rd and 4th, so we probably got the shift fork, snapped it clean off. So that sucks. Now we'll have to make a decision on what we want to do. I'll have to think about that. So anyway, thanks for, I guess we're gonna wrap this one up already. It's gonna be long anyway. So all right, well, you know, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting, thanks for watching. Until next time, with Substandard Leader and Fox Body Videos, lover of POS Mustangs, 4Eyes, LTDs, Lincolns, drag vans, 5.8s, convertibles. We'll see you guys later. We gotta go get to work. We gotta go do something. We're out.